So hello, let us look at number 3 from 2011 Form B. Alright, let's get started. The first one, find the area of R. How are we going to find the area of R? In fact, because you can see that area of R has been governed by two different lines. First part from 0 through 4 was by f of x, which is this one. And 4 to 6 was g of x, which is this. So in fact, area of R R can be from 0 through 4 for f of x, which is square root of x dx, plus 4 to 6 from 6 minus x dx. That's basically what we end up getting. Now, since this one, the exponent is equal to 1/2, what we end up getting is this antiderivative will become x to the 3 over 2 power divided by 3 over 2, which is multiplied by 2/3 from 0 through 4. Plus here we have 6 x minus x squared over 2 for 4 to 6. That's basically what we end up getting. Now, when you plug in 4, here we have square root of 4 becomes 2. To the 3rd power becomes 8. 8 times 2 becomes 16, so we end up getting 16 over 3. On the other hand, if you have to plug in, when you plug in 0, we realize that that becomes 0, so we don't have to worry about that. How about 6? So plus, when you plug in 6, it becomes 36. 36 minus 6 squared over 2, which is 18, then we get 18 for the first value. If you have to plug in 4 over here, minus 24 and minus 16 divided by 2. 16 divided by 2 becomes 8. So 24 minus 8 becomes 16. Now, that's what we end up getting. So therefore, when you plug in 2 is left. So 2 plus 16 over 3 becomes 22 over 3. That becomes our answer. Now, let's look at part B. Region R is the base of a solid. For each y, from y goes from 0 through 2, the cross section of the solid is taken perpendicular to the y-axis. It's a rectangle. Okay, so we are looking at the rectangle. This is R, where the rectangle. So this value is the base of the rectangle right over here, from here to here, whose height is 2 times y. That means how we're going to evaluate the solid. Since we are looking at y, and then the y goes from 0 to 2, and then we realize that expression has to have dy, and whose height is equal to 2y. We just have to, so in order for us to find the area of the rectangle, if this is the base and height is 2y, that's given to us. How do you figure out the length of this one? This would be simply right minus left, which is g of x minus f of x. G of x was this one, so we end up getting 6 minus x minus f of x, which is square root of x. Entire thing has to be multiplied by 2y. Now, but actually this expression has to be converted into x in terms of y. We have to look at the 2x values. In fact, we have to modify this inside values right over here. Sorry about that. Then, what do we realize about the x here? Since y is equal to 6 minus x, in fact, in this case, x will be equal to 6 minus y. That was rather simple. How about here? In this case, x will be equal to y squared. So what we end up getting is 6 minus y squared. That becomes our expression. That is the base, and this is the height, and the whole thing becomes our answer for part B. Let's go for part C. There is a point P, okay, on the graph of f around here, at which the line tangent to the graph of f is perpendicular to the graph of g. Now, the fact that it's perpendicular, that means slope has to be negative reciprocal. Find the coordinate of point P. Since the slope of g is equal to -1, to find C, we realize the slope of the tangent line has to be negative reciprocal of -1. That means f prime of C, whatever that C would have been, or maybe I should say P, P should be equal to 1. Negative reciprocal of -1 becomes 1. Alright, then let us try to find the derivative. Since f is equal to square root of x, what is f prime? Becomes 1/2 and x to the -1/2 power. In other words, 1/2 square root of x. Now, in place of p, then we end up getting this becomes 1/2 square root of p. Of course, then we get to realize that we can cross multiply. Then we end up getting 2 square root of p must be equal to 1. Dividing it by 2, we get square root of p is equal to 1/2. Then obviously p becomes 1/4. So there it goes. P becomes 1/4. And they say find the point P. Point in fact includes x and y value. So once you plug in 1/4 into the P value, we know that y value would have been, since that's the x value, square root of 1/4, which is equal to 1/2. Then our coordinate becomes 1/4, 1/2. That becomes our final answer. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.